Hello, everybody. Welcome to Shoulder Tap. I'm Jack, joined by the risk connoisseur, the risk manager, Mick. How you doing today?
Hey, pretty good, Jack. How you doing, man?
I'm doing excellent back here. It's been a nice. I actually was pretty relaxed after the weekend for once, so feeling good.
Good, good. I had a relaxing weekend too. I had a day where I slept in till 12 o'clock, almost 11:45. That's nice. Can't remember the last time I did that. Certainly didn't have a baby at home when I'd done that last. And then, yeah, got a couple of really good nights of sleep, and then got even got out and played some golf on Monday afternoon after the markets
Ooh, very
closed.
nice.
Yeah, yeah.
Sounds like a nice little weekend. So, how are our traders doing? Are they setting up a nice little weekend right now, or are they maybe doing
Well,
some pennies?
no, it's looking pretty good. It's looking pretty good. We got a lot of green on the board today, especially in the live accounts, and some big P and Ls. We had some really big P and Ls yesterday, as a matter of fact. Um, Brian P being one of them. Dakota, he got his account over $200,000. I'm going to talk about Brian here in a little bit. But as far as today goes, we've got Tanya trade. She's up 1,300. Jesus up 5,300. Eddie up 3,300. And these are all live traders again, Jack. Isaac Rivera, one of our regular on-air personalities, he's up 2,500, still trading right now. Everardo up $1,340, and then Colby up 2,000. So those are just some notable ones above, the $2,000 mark or above the $1,000 mark. We've got plenty more people that are in the black or green on my boards. So yeah, all in all, good week. For those live accounts, all the trading from Sunday night till yesterday's close counted as one trade date. So there were some big numbers yesterday. And with that, I'd love to dive in and talk about someone who did put up a really big day yesterday. If we could throw up Brian P's trading card. Um, Brian is in a live account with us. Really happy to share that he made $18,000 between Sunday evening and yesterday. Locked in an $18,000 winning day yesterday. And he's been doing really well in his account. I talked about him not too long ago, a couple of weeks ago. I think when it was either the XFA to live transfer on him, Jack, or I was talking about some of his early trading days because he had a really big winning day early on in that live account. It was like a 13,000 something dollar winning day, and I was talking about him. I think he follows Topstep TV. So, Brian, if you're watching right now or you're in the chat, say hello. I know we're trying to get you on Topstep TV. Brian spoke with our risk manager Ben yesterday, and then again this morning. We had reached out to him about that $18,000 winning day, Jack. Wanted him to not only lock it in, but also take a payout. It's really, really good practice when you have a windfall profit day. If your account balance doesn't necessarily need the cushion from a big winning day like that, it's good to take a payout. So we were actually talking to him about trying to take an $18,000 payout. That's what he made yesterday. He brought his account balance up above $70,000, Jack, and we want him to take that as a payout. I think he's trying to, from what he said today, Ben told me he's trying to catch Dakota on the $200,000 account balance, which I'll talk about that a little bit more to come. But I guess while I'm on the topic, you know, trading's kind of an individual sport. You don't really want to size yourself up against, somebody else. And, just because someone else hits a big round number doesn't mean that you should be aiming to do that, or that you're trading or how you manage your account. It should have no bearing on what other people are doing. So my suggestion to Brian is things are going well. Pay yourself, even if you don't need the money. But certainly don't manage your account based off what's going on in somebody else's account. Who cares if someone else hit 200,000? Manage your account and manage your trading for yourself. No outside influence. So I had to speak my piece there because I know he was hesitant to take a payout and wanted to, get to that big number that Dakota. So he's nipping at
Yeah.
Dakota's heels, and he's doing pretty well. I mean, I want to talk. Do you have anything else to add on that before we go in and start talking about these great metrics that Brian's putting up?
I do a little bit. I'm seeing Brian has a little over 70K in his account right now. And even if you want to chase down Dakota, I would say it has to be over some time because to go from 70K to, 200K, that's tripling what you have now. And there are not many ways on earth to triple that amount of money without taking on pretty significant risks, right? If that wasn't the case, or if that is not the case for you, then once again, you should start a hedge fund right away. But I would be careful with those sorts of goals, right? Like base it off a percentage of your account that's maybe not 200% to start, but who knows?
Yeah. I mean, just have the horse blinders on. Focus on your own trading, but the trading's going really well. So Brian has gotten that account balance to 70,000, with the exception of what the starting balance was when we transferred him from XFA to Live. He's only been in the account 19 days, and he's averaging $1,800 net P&L on a daily basis. So all really good stuff there. We only have 47% winning days and 43% winning trades, but those average winning days are significantly larger than the losing days, about a little over double. And then best day, like I mentioned, was yesterday, $18,000. Worst day, hit the daily loss limit. Going over that a little bit. Jack, of those 19 trading days that he's got under his belt in the Live account, call it 20, including today. 11 of those trading days have been daily loss limits hit. So we've got over 30,000 in losses across 11 trading days when the daily loss limit's been hit. So that's something that I want Brian to keep in mind, as he trades. Like, I've seen him find short-term success on multiple occasions here at Topstep. I'd really love to see him outlast and manage the money in his account well, where he keeps this account for longer than previous accounts. But I'm not knocking him by any means. This is really good stuff. That's why we're talking about him here. That's why I brought him up not long ago for the shoulder tap. So this is not a shoulder tap. It's a shout out. Things are going really well. He's taking about less than 5 trades per day, so like 4.5 trades per day. The risk reward on a per contract basis is fabulous. It's at 4-1, Jack. If you look at the guy's hold times, Brian is doing a really good job. He's looking to catch a piece of the trend for the day. And when he gets that good trade entry and it goes in his favor, he's riding out those trades. I think the winning trades were an average of like almost 3-hour hold times on the winners. And then he's got 3-hour hold times on the losing trades too. So, sticking in a trade that could be anywhere from 1 to 15 contracts. He's been trading some size because he puts up a lot of big winning days. I mentioned those 11 $3,000 losing days where the daily loss limits hit. I could rattle off a number of other notable winning days here: 11,200, 6,600, 13,500, 12,000, 3,000, 13,600. So there's a $4,000 winning day, and then a couple $1,000 winning days from the beginning early on, because he kind of did some baby steps early on, and now that he's profitable, and I like this a lot, Jack. I know you do too. Overall he's profitable, so he can justify trading larger size, and that's exactly what he did. Had a couple nice winning days early on. Also got, took it on the chin a couple days with the $3,000 losing days. But as he's grown the account larger, been more profitable, built confidence, he's trading a little bit larger. And I like that. I think it's good when, things are working, you press it a little bit. So back to the hold times, it's nice. I mean, it takes some guts and some confidence to stick in a position for 3 hours, especially when it's not a one lot. That can be difficult for some people, even when it is a one lot. Watching a P&L go in your favor and you're thinking to yourself, should I cash out here? Should I cash out there? That's what a lot of people think if they're tracking their P&L intraday. But as many of us know, and what I'm going to share is, you know, you don't need to monitor your P&L, and it certainly shouldn't be a reason for exiting a trade unless it's your biggest winning day ever. If it's an $18,000 winning day like Brian had yesterday, we should all have a good idea of where we want the market to go if we're right, and be getting out based off of levels or chart patterns, or if we see the market just stops going in the direction that we want it to. Exiting trades and basing your trading decisions off of what your P&L is not really a good thing. You're looking at the scoreboard, not at the game itself that's unfolding in front of you.
Yeah.
So I think I covered a lot of things here. Some of my notes at the bottom of this card, I kind of started off with, consider taking a payout, even if it's a couple $1,000. You got 70,000 in the account, Brian. Pay yourself a little bit, put something in your pocket, pay some bills with it or whatever. But then going back to, what Ben, our other risk manager, had relayed to me on his call about, trying to chase Dakota or catch up to him. Don't try and do that. There's always someone bigger. And Dakota's been trading really, really well. As JD says, he's on a heater, and so is Brian. But there's always bigger traders out there, and you want to focus on your own trading, not somebody else's.
Yeah. One more thing to touch on here is Brian is definitely using the DLL as his de facto stop, or stop, right? It looks like he's
Yeah,
getting taken out there. And that's fine. And this next piece of advice, I'm not saying this is what Brian's doing, because if that's what you want to risk, we'll liquidate you. But I think it's one of the advantages of trading with a risk manager that is not yourself, or something like Topstep, is that I think uh, Brian's probably been helped by having that stop in there, right? Because if you're all by yourself, you know, discipline doesn't always take you the whole way there, right? I mean, you could say you're going to lose $3,000 a day, but it's easy enough to expand it a little bit, little bit. It's nice to have something firm in there, because chances are a lot of the P&Ls in these things look better because they're not allowed to go below that 3K loss, would be my 2 cents here.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's using it. I mean, all of his losing days are at 3,000 or a little beyond it with the slippage. And I think there's so much to be said for having a daily loss limit. I know it was one thing that, helped Michael Patak out quite a bit when he started trading, was that daily loss limit. And it serves our traders really, really well in many cases, especially for someone who, hit their daily loss limit 11 out of 20 days. Those numbers add up quickly, and I call it a speed bump. It stops you for the day. You're forced to limit your losses, and that's a good thing, because not everybody has the self-control to stop where they should, or even where they plan on doing it. I hear a lot of, I knew better, I knew this, but I still did that. And I think back to my days of day trading early on, and at a certain point you can kind of be a deer in the headlights, and you're down a few $1,000, and that you lost more than you should already, but it gets to a certain point where you're like, what's another 1,000, what's another 1,000, and it can be really bad. So I mean, I've seen people with P&L, big P&L swings, and if you had a $70,000 account, 70 grand's a lot of money. It sounds like a lot of money. It is a lot of money. But if you're trading size, I mean, Jack, very well, you could lose 70 grand in a day. So definitely keeping that daily loss limit right there is really good for Brian. It would take him, what, Jack, 70,000, 3,000 a day. It'd take him like 23 days to
Hmm.
23 losing days in a row of hitting that 3,000 daily loss limit to wipe out a $70,000 account. You're not going to have 23 losing days in a row. It could happen, but super highly unlikely. And, with all of these, even though the daily loss limits hit more than half the time, or about half the time, if he's putting up 5-figure winning days, in the mix of that, it's okay. And that's why the average daily P&L is $1,800 here. So really good stuff for Brian. I hope he keeps it up and continues to manage the downside well. And when you got the daily loss limit and you are okay hitting it, I mean, there's not much for you to manage on the downside because TopStep does that for you with the daily loss limits.
Right on. Well, maybe we should move on to the next card now because we've
Yeah,
given
let's do
Brian
it.
our due. But great job, Brian.
Okay. All right. Let's talk about Wei. Wei is someone, he's one of our live traders. He's in a live account, and things have not been going well for Wei. There's a couple interesting things here I'm going to point out. Average daily P&L minus $620. That's their net P&L. They've only been in this live account for 11 days. I think today was day 12. What I want to point out is negative P&L per day, but 73% winning days and 79% winning trades. So you've got to be asking yourself, and this was an interesting one. You got to be asking yourself, how can someone have 73% winning days and 79% winning trades be losing money in their account? And I'll tell you, I mean, I'll cut to the chase here, regarding Wei. This is absolutely unacceptable, Jack. They're having their losing days far exceed their winning days. So an average winning day for Wei is $300. An average losing day is 10 times more than that. And then, their best day is $550 and their worst day is, six times that. Excuse me, not six times that. Yeah, six times that. So, I mean, this is a big problem, but it should be an easy problem to correct. I mean, I wish that over the course of my trading career, I had 73% winning days and 79% winning trades. That's a recipe for excellent success. And like we were talking about with Brian, that daily loss limit, helps him pretty well. Wei needs to come up with his own personal daily loss limit, and it should be at $300, or if I want to get loosey goosey, $500. No trader, including Wei, has any business risking more in a single trading day than they make on an average winning day. So that's a $300 mark right there if you follow that set of rules and standards. And if we were to do that, I mean, this would be really nice, consistent profitability because, Jack, this trade report looks really good, minus those $3,000 winning days. This is someone who trades one contract typically. Surprise, surprise, the days that they do hit the daily loss limit, they're trading more than their average of 5 trades per day. And they're trading more contracts too. So Wei had $4,100 as their starting account balance today. Put a 10 lot on, got auto liquidated, lost $3,900 with slippage, trading that NASDAQ today. And now they only have $150 left in their account. So the money management is not good here. The trading's good, but the money management's poor. And then, who risks $3,000 when they have a $4,000 account and trades 10 lots with a $4,000 account? Not a smart move today. Slippage cost them, and now they got $150 to play with. So no doubt, I mean, this account is probably not going to last through the week, which is really a shame because Wei, if you're watching, you've got really good stuff, but you're doing a really poor job managing the money. Keep those losses at 3,000, and you're going to be someone that we talk about regularly with, be it winning streaks, consistent profitability. You can scale your business. Jack, what are your thoughts looking at this trade report here?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to beat up on Wei anymore, so we'll just talk in general. I think you've hit on the head where I think that there was definitely some effort gambling mentality going on today. That, oh, I have this much left, toss on a 10 lot, I'll either lose it all or, you know,
To double my
get the
account.
account back up at 6 grand or something like that, make a bunch of money there. And the problem is that, I mean, even if you had $4,200, that's like, take that. If that's your idea, then take it out. Like, that's not the way to do it, to try and put on a 10 lot there and see it. It's not going to work. It's just not
No,
going to work with that limit. And one thing that sticks out to me is it's truly incredible when you look, we have a column here for the total contracts traded on every day besides those 3 days. It's like a couple contracts, two, six,
two,
four, and these are like the total
four.
trades.
Yeah, and
What
you divide that in
stands
half to
out?
give yourself a round turn. So, I mean,
Okay, so we're talking 1 round turn, 3 round turns, 2 round turns. The three big down days are 25 round turns, 17 round turns, 14 round turns.
yeah, there,
Yeah.
there, there's an opportunity there to probably manage the emotions a little bit. I think, and I think this is the case with a lot of traders that have high winning trade percentages and high winning day percentages. Is they're not accustomed to losing money, so when they do, they don't know how to operate, and there's always room for improvement there. And sadly, like we see with Way, they keep trading and trading and they take it down even further. Like I said earlier, what's another thousand? What's another thousand when you're already down $3,000 or more? And I think that's probably what's happening here. So, what we were talking
Shit.
about, the theme last week was trading buddies. You could use a trading buddy, or as they say in South Park, an accountability buddy.
Yes, accountability, buddy. I love it. I
Yeah,
mean, chin up way. I mean, hopefully you learn something from this. Um, I mean, I've I've done some silly things along the way trading as well, like real dumb.
yeah.
And
It happens, and it's okay. You just have to, learn from your mistakes, move on, and don't replicate them. We all start with a lot of mistakes that we can make, and as we learn from them and move on, that funnel narrows up, and there's fewer mistakes that you're going to be making, and that means there's more room for profitability. But I am happy that he took a $6,000 payout, Jack,
yeah,
because that's a nice hefty sum, considering what the average P&L was on those winning days. That's like 20 days of $300 that they took out. So they have something to show for their work, and they've got some areas to improve upon for next time. I know we've got a few minutes left. Were we going to take some questions from the chat?
yeah. We could, if there's any questions in the chat you'd like Mick and I to weigh in on. That was absolutely not meant to be a pun. I was not trying to do that. Um, we'd be happy to. We just have two cards today. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, I think people are just taking it in right now.
Okay.
Anything new coming in the risk office, Mick?
I mean, I'm not going to divulge some any details, but I'm pretty excited with something that we may be coming out with in June, that I think is going to help a lot of people and give people to kind of take a little bit more control around their own risk and what to do with it. I'll leave it at that. Maybe I gave away information there, maybe I didn't. Trying to keep it vague, but something that we've done a little testing around for the last over 6 months, and we think we'll be coming up with something that the traders are going to like quite a bit. Hopefully by the end of June, if not sometime this summer. We'll see what happens.
Perfect. Dakota's asking if he can increase his DLL.
Yeah, we can take it to 12,000, Dakota. We talked about it yesterday. Dakota hit me up, said, hey, depending on how this week goes, and the week is going well for him so far, he wanted to see if he could get his daily loss limit expanded from 9,000 to 12,000. I talked to the other guys on the team about it yesterday. So that's green light, and I can take care of that as soon as I hop off shoulder tap. So yeah, no problem, Dakota. Again, we want to, do things that are reasonable for the traders if they make sense. And for someone who's been trading really well and wants a little bit of extra room, we can adjust risk parameters in those live accounts, and we can expand loss limits. We can expand position sizing outside of the scaling plan. If you are showing that you're doing well and you got a good head on your shoulders, like Dakota does, no problem. If it makes sense, we'll do it. Spread your
Awesome. Well,
wings at
we're
Top Step.
soar like an eagle. All right. Well, if you have other questions, stick around because Coach Robert's going to be here right after this with me to do a little group coaching. But Mick, thanks so much for hanging out and talking some traders today.
Yeah, fun time, Jack. Thank you.
All right. Stick around. We'll be back in a few moments with group coaching. See you then.